Torah this week, we read the story of Noach and the flood. There's lots of problems people often put out how does the story work? How does it even make sense? One of the problems that doesn't get a lot of attention would have been dark, right? On this ark, especially because there are multiple levels, presumably for all the animals, it would have to be super dark. And 40 days and 40 nights of rain, water, the supernatural rain that came down, dark. It wouldn't have been sunny. There wouldn't have been all this light. How was there light on the ark? Well, when practicing the Torah this week, I saw a word that I didn't recognize, Zohar. And I learned from Rabbi Ali Confer of Mechon Hadar in New York that the reason I don't recognize it is that it's a Paxilgamenon. It's a word that appears only once in the entire Tanakh. So it's hard to know what it means because it doesn't appear anywhere else. There's no context clues somewhere else. So what does this word Zohar mean? God tells Noach at the very beginning, one of the first instructions is to make a Zohar in the ark. So what might it be? Option one is that it's a window. Rashi thinks it could be a window because we know from later on there's a window in the ark. Later on he opens up a chalon, a window. So maybe it's that. Ibn Ezra disagrees, thinks that it's a skylight for after the rain has stopped. You open up a skylight so that you can have good light in the ark. And it's just part of the design. You need a skylight for after the water stopped. And Rashi offers a second opinion that it's a jewel. This pulls from the Talmud for this. In the Talmud there's an opinion that it's a special jewel that would sort of emit light, and that this light that would deal with the darkness because there'd be light coming from it. Or maybe it was many different jewels and precious stones that could reflect light from each other. So what little light there was could be reflected around and about. But it also has a sense of beauty that somewhere in the ark, even in this dark time, because lots of people die in this story, that they're looking for, in a difficult situation, a little bit of beauty to hang on to. So that's sort of what I'm carrying with me, because we're going into election season, and elections it's nice that we have elections, but there's a darkness in them, which is to say, there's a lot of negative campaigning. Negative campaigns are what work, and especially both here in the United States and in Israel, where there's an election next week. There's some dark themes running through, and people, this happens in most election campaigns, but it's certainly going on now. On maybe fear, thinking that fear is a better motivator than hope, and sometimes times are difficult. The story of Noah, if Zohar means sort of jewels and precious stones, teaches us that you're supposed to have something beautiful even in dark times. Make sure when you go on an ark, when you're in a place that's not where you want to be, when bad things might be going on around you, when the waters get rough, make sure you bring something beautiful on with you. That Zohar, let's say it means precious stones. Something lovely that can help reflect light when there's a little bit of light around, and that can remind you of the beauty of the world, even when times are bad. Shabbat Shalom, and remember to vote.